Cool.
Didn't forget to record. All right, spark of inspiration, number three. And today with me, John. How do you pronounce your surname? Kerkhoff?
Kerkhoff.
Kerkhoff.
Yep.
Kerkhoff. John Kerkhoff. The stage is yours. Um, yeah, John, thank you for showing up as a spark of inspiration.
Oh, thank you for having
Um,
me. It's exciting.
Yeah, we had amazing chats a while ago, and I also come from this like my background is in corporations, in
Mhm.
business. I'm also dealing with a lot of organizations and businesses, and I'm super super excited, whenever it comes to leadership, like future leadership, leadership of the future, conscious leadership. And yeah, when you were, talking about your experiences and your background, because you were in a military, and your perspective and your perception, of leadership, that was like, wow, everybody needs to hear that. Because there are some company owners also in our community, but also, information will go around because I will post this link somewhere else.
Mhm.
Okay, April is here. We have another one in
Ooh,
our
exciting.
house. Hi, April. So yeah, the thing is how we usually do this. So I really want to offer you this space, to you can share first who you are, what's your story, what is your mission, who are you looking to meet, and how can community, beautiful badass souls and whoever will be watching this, how can we support you to just reach your goal or like realize whatever you want to realize, because one message at the right time can absolutely change everything. So,
Absolutely.
and this is why I'm doing this, because I love when people, I love seeing people thrive, and when I see that things are coming together, like pieces of the puzzles are coming together, that makes me really, excited and happy. Um, so yeah, the stage is yours, and later we're gonna, have a discussion. We're gonna talk about it, but at first, it would be really cool if you can tell who you are, what's your story, so what is your mission, who are you excited to meet, and how can our community help you?
Sure. No, thank you. Thank you again for this. I'm super excited. And so I'm a simple guy. I have a background. I did 20 years in the U.S. military. Through that, had a lot of challenges, learned a lot of things, but kind of through that whole experience and like my deployments, going to the Middle East, some rotations through Asia and Europe and Australia, just in Africa, kind of got to see the world, right? And kind of it brought a new perspective and perception that we are all indeed one being, one human, one connection. And it was really neat. So through that experience, I'm getting to see the very good side of the world and people and getting to see the not so good side of the world and people and kind of just realizing we need to help each other out and be here for each other and really support each other. And so after getting out of the military, that is kind of what I drove my mission to be. I want to elevate us as a collective and elevate us as people and really support each other and grow each other. And, that's why you and I hit it off so well is because we
We
share that
did,
energy, that
yeah.
passion, that excitement for people and growth and the collective, right? So now that's kind of building into what I do. I kind of have a twofold system where I come in on one side to help the individuals and elevate them and boost them up, especially when we start talking, their life, their workforce. There's kind of everything that makes them do their day-to-day stuff. And so I come into that side and I want to help people individually for that growth. But then because working and money is a thing and people need to survive, I also work with businesses to make sure that they're bringing the right people and they're supporting their people and they're fostering those environments that grow their people, um, builds that culture, builds that community, and then people want to stay and they're happy. And guess what? Happy workers also produce better results for your company, so it's good for them too. So we start.
Newsflash.
Yep. building all that as a collective, and it's been super exciting journey. It's been very fun, and a byproduct of all this is now I get to build a community. And when I say community, I'm talking a legitimate community with houses, with vocational training, with behavioral mental health support services to help everyone as a collective unity. And I'm a firm believer is that we have to do things collectively, not individually. That's really just kind of been 20 what, 5 years now of journey in 5 minutes.
Love it, love it. And you also have your own school community, yeah?
Yes, I do. So I
Okay,
just launched it, what, a week ago.
okay.
And so it's focused on that workforce growth development. So I want to bring people in and I want to get them from just showing up to work and being to getting noticed, to doing those things, to becoming valuable. I'm a firm believer a lot of people confuse busy work with productivity. And what ends up happening is unfortunately is those who do busy work, their employers love them, but then they get lost. Oh, did I?
Are you still there? Technical issues. What is it? Is it Mercury retrograde still?
Oh, okay, there we go.
No? Okay. I was like, okay, are you back?
My internet went crazy there for a minute. Sorry.
No worries, no worries.
I think
Yeah,
I
just
over
continue. So
energized it.
it's busy work. Yeah, you were talking about that, this whoever is busy worker, they get lost. Like their employers, they love them, but they get
Yeah,
lost.
they
So,
get lost. Their employers love them, and then they just get tacked on with more work, and
mm,
then it drains them and it brings them down, and they don't see the fruits of their labor, right? So we
yeah.
shift that paradigm and we show you how to be valuable without being taken advantage of. So you
Or
bring
like
value,
people pleasing, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and to the point where you're bringing value to them, where your boss and your employers they want you to do to rise up, right? So it's no
Hmm.
longer here. I'm just going to keep throwing work at you because I know you'll get it done. It's no, we want to promote you and bring you up because you're bringing that value, because people trust you, and because you are able to do the things that matter. And so
Yeah,
that's what my community is going for to raise everyone as a collective.
awesome. And yeah, let's talk about now this synergy, or a lot of people are like, oh, they have nothing in common, but they do, yeah, like the leadership style that you kind of experienced when you were out, the battlefield, out in the world, and basically facing really, like life and death situation, like when you're like life threatening situation, and now you are in corporations, I mean in organizations, and you can like what you see, yeah, you said that it's opposite in a way, and I'm like really curious if you can elaborate that, if you can go a little bit deeper.
Sure. So there's actually a very strong similarity first. When pressure is on, when kind of you're in that fight or flight response in your body, whether work or the battlefield, we as humans tend to drop down to the lowest level of competent training or comfortability or something to that. So in the battlefield, your lowest level of training is going to determine how you react. Same thing's kind of true in your life when whether your personal life, your marriage, your work life, when it gets stressful, you go down to the lowest level where you are the most comfortable, and that's how you're going to respond accordingly. So that's where it starts, and it's getting you that muscle memory, if you will, that spiritual memory of this is how I can operate when it is stressful, and I know how to react. I know how to. This is going to sound bad, but pull the emotion out of it so you can see things clearly before you make a decision or before you react. And that's kind of the basis of how we're starting it. And then you apply it to the certain situations where depending on your circumstance, and then you're able to make more grounded decisions, and you're actually saving your energy in that process because you're not just shooting it out wildly. You're okay, it's focused and now it's intentional. Your decisions, you'll be making them with intent and you'll be making them with clarity, and then you're able to pretty much follow that path that you're trying to accomplish.
Hmm.
Does
And
that
were
make sense?
you faced just this, like were you faced like with situation that you had to that you had to make a decision in instant moment?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
especially while I was deployed in the Middle East and Iraq and stuff. You know, you're kind of doing our mission, and we know what we're supposed to be doing, but essentially, other people, in this case, the enemy or other people who just didn't like us there, they have a vote in the situation. And so if they choose to, drop a bomb on us or shoot at us, we have to react accordingly. But a lot of people get, in this situation, you can get tunnel vision. It's okay, we're in contact, bad guys over here, we got to go. But people tend to forget, or they don't think about if they're not in that situation, is there's actually a surrounding area. So sure, we can immediately shoot back, but if there's houses behind them, there could be people, there could be animals. It's very complex. So it's being able to pull that and see what's going on. And then those were those decisions. So it was able to, like I was talking about, pull your emotion out for a moment, see things clearly before you make that decision. So many times we just had to say, look, this is not worth it because we could cause more harm than good, and we'll have to come back another day. And other times it was like, nope, they messed up. We got clear. Let's kind of go grab this person and put everyone to safety. And so making those decisions on the battlefield kind of started driving that, bringing that clarity to my mindset.
It's so fascinating, especially when you are with a team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how does communication, like, when you have to make this decision in instant moment, how they communicate? Is like telepathically or like, it's really fascinating. Like, I don't know. That's my perspective. Like, you can share it yours.
Yeah. So, in this scenario, especially with military, we're kind of trained to read each other. So we got the hand signals. We could yell at each other. We can, there's various ways of radio. So it's that communication. And for us, there's a base level that everyone knows what to do.
Mhm.
So we don't have to give those direct orders. Like it's not everyone like, what do we do? It's people kind of know and they know how to react. But if we're making changes on the fly, the communication is key. And usually it is a hand motion. It is um, like, hey, we're doing this. We give some kind of motion or wave or body signal to bring people back. If they're focused and they're not seeing it, then it's yelling, then it's the radio. But it's conveying that message clearly with simple words, simple commands that people can hear it and they don't have to process and think about it. They just hear it and react. So a lot of training and muscle memory goes into that.
Wow. So really, I mean, CEOs and, company owners, they could really use this kind of training, really, like, because it's like they are making it so complex in
Mm-hmm.
organizations. And this is one of the reasons that I invited you, because it's like it's amazing when you compare those two worlds. There are synergies, but it's like otherwise it's completely different planet. So yeah, can you talk a bit more about this?
Oh, absolutely. And this is one thing I love working with businesses about. So in the military, and this is true for almost every military, pretty much most of your people in the chain of command know what to do. They know what's going on, they know what to do. What you tend to see in business is the opposite. In the business setting, usually the leaders are hoarding information, they're holding on to it, and they're not giving all the pieces down to the lowest people. And that's where a lot of problems tend to lie because it's very vague guidance, it's very vague information. And so people are just trying to do their work and they're not sure how it matters, what they're even doing, why they're doing this. And there's a fear structure. What I've seen is there's a fear structure in jobs and corporate that go with that. It's leaders are afraid to be outshined or lose their position or someone advances above them. So they hold this information and they make themselves this key person. But that actually works to their detriment because now you hear a lot of executive leaders, oh, I can't go on vacation because if I do, my team won't know what to do. And this and that is like, well, that's your fault. You failed your team. If you can't step away for a week or two without panicking, you have set yourself up that way and you created a bad culture because you
Yeah.
should be able to. And that's a lesson from the military. That's why we do it. So if a leader is gone or taken out or whatever, everyone knows what to do and they can just keep going. And that's the kind of community and culture I want to bring into organizations to show leaders that you could actually do more with less stress
Hmm.
and bringing that synergy and build in to an organization.
And how do you create this coherence so that people are, you know, energetically aligned and in sync?
So
That's also interesting.
it all starts with just getting people excited about what they're doing. When people understand how the work they're doing matters, it already gives them buy-in. They're like, okay, I could see when I do this, it leads to this and accomplishes this. So that's kind of the very base model right there. People can't see what they're doing and how it matters. They're just, all right, well, and then you start building that, and then you show how the team as a whole works together, how each role supports each other, but also builds and builds to the next level. So you think about it like constructing a house. You don't put up the walls before the foundation, but who's got to do the foundation? So you start there, then you build it up. And it's the exact same thing. And that's how the energy aligns. And then when your team meshes, they know, okay, I know I just got this, so I can focus on this. And then we come together and boom, look at this. We're ready to go. And now we're ready to advance. And now April came in with her specialty, and now we got pipes coming up and the walls there and the foundations there, and it's coming together beautifully. And then now that energy is there, and the team is seeing the collective work group, and they're like, okay, this is great. We love it.
So why do you think organizations have so many problems?
Because it goes back, I mean, generations and generations, because it was once upon a time, one person was afraid of losing a power, whether it be ego, whether it be trickery, there's a lot complex that goes into that, but that's where it started. And that's why they would hoard it. It's like, you don't need to worry about this. Just do what I tell you. And they're holding this vision because they don't want anyone else to see it until they've, manifested it, made it reality so they can gain that prestige and wealth and knowledge and build their legacy. So that's kind of its roots, but it's just now it became normal and people just accept it. But it doesn't have to be that way, especially because we have great examples of great companies that do the exact opposite and show they're more successful.
Yeah, absolutely. One more thing, do
Yeah.
you in military, do people in military talk about consciousness? Like, how would you say, like, what is this level of awareness in, yeah, military circles?
I think it depends on the group. Some groups are they won't talk about it. Some groups will. Some groups more on the religious spiritual side. So I think it, it's not fully there, but there's sprinkles of there, and it's who you talk to and kind of their perception of the world and their experiences in life. And I think it's growing though. If I had to put my thumb on it, I'd say it's starting to grow and build a small movement right now.
And your friends, your colleagues that you were together, for example, out in the field, like they are also in this businesses, like with leadership and organizations and stuff like that.
Yeah, most are. Most either go off to do like executive coaching. Some go to just run their own businesses. Some just want to go into the workforce and be regular workers. So again, it's the beauty of at least the military is you actually get a diverse group from all
Hmm.
backgrounds, all specialties, all walks of life, and they they all have their piece that they want to do and they're excited to do, and that's what they take into the world.
Yeah, but in terms of leadership, it's really added value. Like I really see like, every company should have somebody, like that once was in military, especially in this, positions like I don't know, leading the group or, the team out in the battlefield. Because change management, in companies, it gets completely different meaning, when you have stories like that. It's like, why are you complicating so much? Like it can be really simple.
It
Um,
can. We come with the stigma because, at least some people think, oh, you went to war, you have PTSD, or you're just so rigid and structured that you're going to be angry and mean and no flexibility. And we're people too. Like you look at military or law enforcement or first responders, we're all people just like everyone else. So we have experiences, we have wants and needs, and we're not all just these angry people with trauma. And those of us with trauma, we do our things to heal it and fix it. And just like anyone else in the world, we're no different.
Yeah, that's a whole different topic, yeah,
Yeah.
about the PTSD and everything. Which was really interesting. For example, when I don't know if I mentioned, but I lived in San Diego for a while.
Mhm.
So I lived in California, and in San Diego, there's this Navy base, and a lot of really, really young people, when they come from, oh my gosh, what, Camp Pendleton, that is a
Yep.
little bit northern. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
near LA, if I'm not mistaken. Or
Mhm.
like if you go, we were in downtown, so I think it was, yeah, a little bit north. So a lot of, like, every weekend, because when I was working in this hostel, youth hostel, a lot of really, really young guys, it was like 18, 19 years old. um they were coming, like a group of military guys. They were coming down to the hostel. They just wanted to party, they get wild and stuff. But the stories that they were sharing with us, this was absolutely incredible. Like these are just regular guys. Like they were really sent out to Afghanistan and like all these places. And it's just, yeah, it's just insane, um how it affects a human being, like the
Yeah.
soul, like on every possible level. So to integrate that back into the society, like we should really offer, like human beings should really offer human beings enormous amount of support, yeah, with
Mhm.
this.
And that's true for everyone, right? We're here together, we're here collectively. Let's support each other, not bring each other down.
Yeah,
And we got plenty of history to show what happens when you just try to bring people down. It doesn't end well for anyone.
anyone, exactly. And okay, share with us also, I already asked you this, but the symbol behind you, because if somebody will be, they will be watching this video, it's like, which organization is he in? It's like, it's no, it's okay, he's amazing, so just share, what does it mean?
So actually, this symbol behind me, they're the cavalry sabers. So every job, every MOS in the army, we have a symbol that goes with it. And so for my job as a cavalry scout, that was my symbol. It's the cross sabers. It's got lineage. If you've ever watched a U.S. Western movie and they talk about the cowboys and the cavalry, you would always see this on their Stetson, on their hat. So this is the lineage of the job I did for the Army. And so our symbol is the cross sabers. Another one that people will recognize is our infantry guys wear crossed rifles. So these old like flintlock rifles, you'll see them, they're crossed. So that's kind of in the Army anyway. We always have a symbol that's associated with our job, our specialty, and this was mine.
Okay. You see, every day you learn something new. And today we learned something new. Do you have a story or anecdote or something that you can share? I know that there are many of them, but I don't know, like in terms of leadership or something that really stuck with you, that really had a positive effect on you from your time in military.
I don't know if I have one particularly that comes to my head, other than the one true thing that anyone has ever said is if you cannot step away, you have only hurt yourself. And
Wow.
and and it holds true because again, if you're holding those keys, or what in the military we call it a single point of failure. You can have the best system in the world, but if everything stops because of one person, that's not a good thing. That's very, very, that's not what you want. So it's always just being able to be comfortable releasing some of this, we'll call it authority, let other people shine and build them up with you.
Wow, that's really powerful. That goes really well with this spark of inspiration concept. So really cool. Well, good. I mean, we're definitely gonna chat more, but for now, April, welcome to the party. Do
Hi,
you maybe
April.
have, hey, yeah, do you have any questions for, or, like any idea or thought that came through while you were listening to our conversation?
Oh yeah, many. I'm just very inspired. This was a great, really excited that I was able to get on this. Well done, you guys. And yeah, I'm just like smiling from ear to ear really the whole time because I really appreciate from our view what my husband and I are working on a project where we bring we were professional horse trainers our
Mhm.
whole life. And so we are bringing the consciousness and awareness and different parts of emotional or spiritual, um, upliftingness. And so bringing these things in how we as horse trainers, but to go into that further, we're both like hardcore cowboys. And so we kind of, yeah. And my father was a park ranger for 45 years, and I worked in the park system. And I have been in physical positions where I can just like relate certainly to what you're talking about. And I'm just intrigued how we are able to take experiences and all of this training and all of these like worldly things and bring them into something that's of a beautiful creation and like a combination. And so to be able to compare the two, whoever knew you could compare cowboys and chakras, and whoever knew you could compare the military, what you're doing here, this system with a business system. It's absolutely perfect. It's a brilliant idea. I'm
Right.
totally on board with what you're up to. And I took some notes because I would just love to connect with you personally at another time just to go over a couple things because the way you're presenting yourself is very understood and it's very like plateaued where many people would be able to connect with your aura here. So yeah, I did have a few things to say. So, but thank you very much. Most important, and it was very activating.
I'm so honored that you got inspiration out of it, and it's really cool that you work with horses and stuff because again, the lineage of the job I did was with horses, like the cavalry charge, the horses, and the one thing I love about animals, especially, they could pick up on your aura. They could pick up on your emotions and feelings. You don't have to say a word. You don't even you start walking up and they already know what's coming to them. Do you have a good energy, a bad energy, a heavy energy, a sorrowful energy? They can feel it and they will respond accordingly. And of course, if you have that bond with your animal and like your horses, I guarantee they will approach you differently based on that. And they may even try to comfort you. They may even try to be like, hey, what's going on? I'm gonna try to cheer you up or make you feel better. So I love it. I love what you're doing with the animals too. And that's just super cool.
Great, thank you. Yeah, it's nice to have like the softer approaches and the groundwork because if you've worked with horses, you understand.
Yeah.
But if you've rode, then you understand too what it's like to match your horse in energy after training and you go to war. Like it's incredible. It's incredible to be on an animal like that because we've competed at very high levels.
Mhm.
And so it is, it's like you're going for it, live or die, and it is a physical, like you could physically die very easily in what we're doing. So I'm not trying to compare this to what you're doing, but in a sense, I said
No,
I
it's
had a sliver of being where you've been. And that feeling of being matched up with something so powerful and then like being ready to do this with you. And so I just love your emblem also because of that. And just think everything is so graceful and beautiful. Good job.
thank you, and definitely cool stuff to hear with the horse. I can't wait to hear more when we get to talk later, and because I love that stuff. It's just great, and I like horses, so even better.
And
Well,
April is, yeah, and she's, spirit animal shaman as well. So it's like a lot of that. So there are so many synergies. I'm super excited.
and I'm here for the business we're launching this. We've had a holistic healing business for 10 years, but we're launching this really grand project. And so your services and what you're up to is very interesting to me right there. So.
Oh, perfect. One of my things I'm actually working towards and building is therapy with horses and like hippotherapy with with different animals, because there's such a beautiful healing that comes with animals, right? A lot of people immediately associate it with dogs, and yes, that is very true, but other animals also bring great value to the spiritual and healing journeys, and horses are like one of them. And I can't wait to, as I grow in my organizations and the people I work with and my communities I'm building, to bring that in, to bring that horse therapy in and the animal therapy in, and because it's beautiful, right? And again, that feeds into this one collectiveness we all have as creatures, humans and animal alike. We share an energy, we share that aura, and that's how we do it, and that's how we grow and build and raise our energy to that next level.
Right. That's right. Because then we have someone over here, that is like veterans for horses right now, healing for horses that we connected with last week. Well, they reached out to us. And so then now this, and it's just a beautiful spider web. Thank you, Anya.
It is. Yeah. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I mean, that was kind of no-brainer when me and John, we connected on this networking event. And it was actually really late. It was like from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. my time.
Yeah.
For them, it was just like a regular meeting. But for me, I was like, okay, but I know that I have to be here. I don't know why, but I will. And yeah, we connected. It was instant. It was an instant connection. So I'm happy that you're here. Awesome. Yeah, and your mission with veterans, with the whole organization. Can you tell us more about that as well?
Yeah, so with that, so the big communities I talk about, it is a big healing community. So we're trying to help people with housing, from affordable housing to, if they're homeless, we find grants and gifting them their houses so they own it. They're coming back in. With the site, we have training to give them, a new skill set to get them back into the workforce, or for very special situations and needs, we have a community garden where we have local farmers and ranchers come show us how to use the land properly, a year-round seedery, and again, so now we're growing this giant communal garden that benefits the whole community. And then, of course, the behavioral health and mental health facilities that are on site as well to give people those support. And and it's not just for veterans. Like we're bringing it in for like victims of human trafficking, because that's a very, very tough situation to be coming out of, and building that power back and building that trust. And so you need a very sensitive level of support with that. Same thing with people coming out of the prison system. There's a trauma with it, and you got to kind of slowly integrate and rebuild someone's power and their well-being before you just, all right, here you go, get out there. And it's overcoming those. And of course, my veterans with PTSD and different disabilities and traumas, again, it's the same concept. We get you stable, get you comfortable where you're safe, and now we'll just slowly rebuild and let you regain your power at the speed that is needed for you. So this community all encompassing to do that, a full-fledged healing, not just, all right, hey, you showed up today, good job, we'll see you in a week. No, it's community builds community, grows community.
Oh, and it's location based. Like where are you in? You're in states, but obviously, but it's now where can people find you?
So right now I'm centered in Virginia, so that's where you could find me, where the starting roots are. We got some stuff going on in Las Vegas, some stuff in Tennessee, Arizona, California, but we want to take this internationally, right? We want to take this to other countries and other peoples and other organizations, because again, it's community, it's that bondness, it's that shared experience. And this is only for one group. This is for everyone, especially everyone in a healing journey, or everyone who needs that communal support to grow. So definitely, we've had some early talks with Australia. We have some talks going on in Canada for a women's clinic. up in Calgary. So super exciting, a lot going on in a good way to help people, to bring them up, especially because the world is crazy right now and we need each other more than ever.
Do you have a lot of partnership organizations? Like, are you looking for investors or something? Like, what kind of context would you need? How can people support you?
So everything from partner groups to investors to anyone who can facilitate, or even somebody who wants to, we'll call it buy the license to this. Like we could show you how to do the whole program yourself, where you could build it in and everything that involves in it. So we need all walks of life, all people with a good heart who want to do it. Right now, it's pretty much me and two of my business partners kind of funding the whole thing through our own organizations. We do get grants. We apply for grants. We get certain grants to help, certain government contracts to help, but we could take this to individual investors. We would love it that way because if they go through at least in the States, they go through our nonprofit, everything is a tax write-off for them. Whether they donate money, donate land, donate resources, right? Our tax code and how they're able to write their taxes off. So we could do it that way. We could bring it to you. We could make it business related. So there is an ROI that comes with the vocational school and the behavioral health facilities. So that's how it self-sustains, is through those two channels. But the possibilities are endless, and we can make it work as long as people are being helped. That's the mission. It's helping the people, getting them back, empowered and on their feet and part of the collective again.
Amazing. Yeah. And when they get back, into the society, I mean, when they get back on their feet, they can share. Yeah,
Yeah,
like they can pass it on. It's like this paid forward, like, with Charlie, that you probably have chat about this as
yeah.
well. This is how I see it, of course, like train the trainer,
Oh yeah,
like pay it forward. Yeah,
yeah. It's all
amazing.
about people helping people, and there's nothing better than people with shared energy being able to be like, I understand, I know where you're at, let me help you.
Mm,
And
good.
I got a safe space for.
Yeah, I think that at some point, I mean, on some level, we are all doing the same, yeah,
Yeah.
from different perspectives, and we have different, I would say, playgrounds, but we are doing the same. Like,
Yeah,
hey, we are here, we are holding safe space, so you can shine.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
that's really
That's
cool.
what it is. And that's what, again, and you see it especially in this group, and we build our energy up together.
Yeah, I love it. And April showed up today, which was
Yeah,
complete synchronicity
super
because she
excited.
needed to be here. And by the way, April, I would like to give you also space to present yourself, so whoever will be watching this, that they will know you are also in Beautiful Badass Souls, our community. We met, I don't know how we met. How we met.
Me and you,
Yeah, how did we meet?
we meet in another lifetime, and I just ran into you this last week for the.
Yeah, yeah, that is, but I don't remember like how, like, because I have a feeling that we know each other.
I know, that's why we have to dive into that a little more, but that's how I feel right now. I just like reconnected with you. Yes, very much so.
I know. So that, yeah, that is really cool. But I would really like to, shine a light also on you because you're an amazing, amazing soul, and I would really like
Oh,
them to get to know you as well. So
oh,
you
thank you
already
very
said that,
much.
you are working with horses, but there's like so much more. So
Oh, there's a lot more to that, and I want to hear it. We need to get you on here.
I look forward to it. Thank you very much. Yeah, everything is building up to like what we are trying to heal the world, right? And
Mhm.
that's like what it's really after. And so there's all this great stuff leading up to it. So thank you. Thanks for the path. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
would you like to share a little bit more about also about your work, about your book, about your shamanic thing?
Me? Oh,
Yeah,
I
of
thought we were
course,
gonna,
like
you're ending
shining
your
a light
call.
on you.
I thought you were ending your call soon.
No, no,
Um,
like we still have 20 minutes. That's why I just want to use this,
Wonderful.
opportunity to really also put you on a spotlight.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. So it's like, where to begin? Because I just kind of jumped on here. But yeah, my husband and I are shamanic practitioners that have been professional horse trainers our whole life until 10 years ago, after a number of like pretty broken bones and going through all the surgeries to get it going back up and kind of back up on our feet, realizing we had to do a career change. And the prior years before that, we had individually gone through everything it took to make that career change into a holistic healing practice. At the time, we were in Southeast Oregon, and we handle a number of modalities. We were the only alternative medicine that that community of ranchers and longers had ever known. You know, they have a chiropractor there through the hospital, and that's about as far as it's going to get. And so we were there for the full like 9 years, and we're able to offer the physical, mental, and spiritual needs. And so we're Bowen therapists, and we're also master Reiki practitioners, and we're both really passionate about our shamanic breathwork facilitating. And yeah, and so that kind of comes with the publications that kind of, because it goes into shamanism. We were able to both write chapters for a collaboration on book for spiritual entrepreneurship and leadership. And my relationship with that company over the last 4 years has led us to, and this story has led us to a release of another chapter this summer. Their book, it's a 25 chapters, but I'll be writing one. And so I'm pretty excited because it's called Unleash Yourself. This particular book is, and I get to unleash the story of my journey in finding Christ consciousness in particular, and kind of share some medicine with others who had recognized this and embody it. And so I'm gearing up to do that. I'm doing all kinds of business stuff now, and then I'll be gearing up to like channel that in and launch it this summer. And it's all kind of a stepping stone for a project that we're working on. We have moved remotely into Northern California, up into the Redwoods here, not too far off the coast. And most of our work is online now. And it's just led me to the Skool community and to working with Anya and a couple others to form a project that we've envisioned for like years, but it's really launching hardcore right now because of the events in the world. And so the program should cover, you know, a number of things or a number of healing modalities that would help a lot of different people, but it's going to be geared right now toward religious recovery, because that's going to just be a wave of people right now that need sincere help there. And so when I talk about our big project, that's kind of where we're at business wise, getting that, because it's like what people need right now. But with that, bringing in what we've already worked with on social media and with all of our clients is bringing all of that emotional and spiritual, like what's inside of us, and connecting it with what's going on the outside, right? And so it allows us, now we're on a property with horses and able to bring that in to some of this, and looking forward to like having podcasts with people like yourselves to uplift our listeners and the community that we're actually seeking to connect with the most, or at first would be the logging and the ranching community, the equine community, the people you would understand from a military standpoint or a business standpoint. When you're working that hard, those guys and girls are just going and going and going and going. And so it's like their trauma and their faith are literally, they just like become workaholics with alcohol and substance abuse.
Yep.
And so, you know, to try to reach out to them and realize that there's a path out of that kind of ugly tornado by bringing in professional horsewomen and men from like around the world, like famous ones that we actually have worked with. So yeah, combining the whole thing like this, just yeah, beautiful mesh of what we've already done, and kind of like milking that a little bit. When I started back up, got moved in and online, I kind of felt like, oh, April, and I know you can relate, it's like we're starting from scratch because it's online and it's not a new subject, but the subject and so forth. And then over the last couple of months, all of the hard work we've done the last number of years has been popping up. People, clients, my husband's TikTok blew up. People are on there asking for tons of swag from our company, which I haven't even produced any like t-shirts for probably 6 years. It was a big thing for a while and then not. And so I'm like, wow, all of that, yeah, let's do it. And so that's what I'm just kind of sitting here today doing it, and saw the call and was like, oh, I could pull this off because I know our timeline, or, our clocks are so different. And so I was excited to see that, it would match for this call. So yeah, I jumped on, and that was a little long-winded, but yeah, you gave me the moment, and I tried to wrap it all up. And I'm also invited to a number of public opportunities moving forward to launch this. So I have been trying to get this all into one introduction. So that kind of allowed me to pull that off. Thank you.
Super
That's so
interesting.
cool.
And the TikTok is Buckaroo, yeah?
Yeah. So the name of our company has been Buckaroo Buddha.
Buckaroo Buddha. Yeah.
Yeah, Buckaroo Buddha.
That's awesome.
Yep, it's great for who Dustin and I are, and the community that we were in. We were actually a bridge at that point, and that was just great. And it just kind of coincides with the new project we're launching, is called Unbridled Consciousness. And so they can kind of go hand in hand, trying to bring that like untamed consciousness to people, and realizing, because I come from religious recovery and like that part. So it's like not everything is black and white. Like literally, your consciousness is unbridled. You can take it and unleash it and do what you want with it. And if you want to stay in a cage, then that's what you're choosing. But let's get to the point where you know that. So yeah, unbridled consciousness. And so yeah, it's all like falling together there. It sounds good.
Love it. And you know what's really interesting? Like when we come together like this, we are, of course, this consciousness field, it's like, it's universal. Yeah? It's like everybody, but we are coming from different playgrounds, different dimensions or whatever. But now how I see it, like it's coming to this point of like intersection. Everything is like intersecting, like all different, like sometimes you would say like that has nothing to do with that, but it does. Yeah, when it comes to this consciousness level, everything is connected. So you can find a really, really amazing synergy between, I don't know, like I'm gonna be just funny now, like I don't know, a crocodile in Australia and a freaking parrot in Africa or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like at first sight, like, oh, they have nothing in common, but yeah, like when you go this deep, everything is connected. Everything is connected, and that really excites me, like having chats like this and showing people how everything is really connected.
I love it. And April, I love what you guys are doing. And if I can support you and your husband in any way, shape, or form, let me know. I am a native of California. I grew up there. So I do have some roots there still. Some sisters. I know the city planner of Weed up further north, and had some friends who went to Humboldt. So very familiar with that area. So anyway,
yeah,
I can help.
That's where I'm at. So perfect. Yeah, we'll connect. That's great.
Perfect.
Yeah, and it's back to this conversation too, and I'm going to repeat this. You'll hear me say this many times, but the conversation I had with you the other day, Anya, when we got on the call, I read your bio a few times and so forth, but I hadn't let some of it sink in. Just what I wanted to sink in, not all of it. And so when I got off the call, I have been activated. I mean, holy shit. This is something to write about. And so I literally went to Dustin last night and I was like, I'm pretty sure something happened to me. And I went back. And just that activate, I'll never lose. You have all those great words going on, but that one right there. And so when you had this call, I was like, an activation call. Oh my God, I don't know if I can handle anymore. But yes, this is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I know that I am an energy activator, but I don't know how to put it in words, you know? So I just invite people, hey, just experience it. Like, I'm not gonna sell it to you because I don't know how to sell that to you. But yeah,
No, I'll try. I'm gonna try to put it in words. That's why there's no post or video yet. It's like, I gotta figure out how am I gonna explain what she did to me, because it's been awesome. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, just for being you. This is great.
Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome. I mean, vice versa. It was awesome, you know, talking to you because this remembrance, and when you mention Christ consciousness, it's so amazing because, I mean, we are, you know, we are consciousness, and it's all about Christ consciousness now. Like each and every one of us, you know, is carrying this. So there's no reason why we shouldn't talk about it. And it doesn't matter if it's like, you know, if you say like Jesus or Christ or whatever, like words really don't, I mean, I don't want that words separate. I want that, you know, words unite. And like whatever we are doing here, it's so, I feel that it's creating a ripple effect already. And whoever will watch this, he's gonna be or she's gonna be activated. Like I'm 100% sure of that. Like maybe like, oh my God, I wanna be next time, I wanna be a spark of inspiration. Yeah, I was like, yeah, you can be. So
Yes,
awesome.
you definitely have the rippling effect for sure.
Yeah, we are. We all
yeah, you are healing the world by your presence for sure.
We are. And the whole group is doing that. And I'm like, really, really, I don't know. I was just guided to create this group, you know, beautiful, badass souls, because it is like we are beautiful, badass souls. Especially empath. Yeah. Like this is my kind of, you know, area because I have been an empath all my life and I know how difficult it is to learn what is yours and what is not. So you don't absorb everything. And a lot of people in business world, you know, they see, oh, they are sensitive, you know, they are too emotional, blah 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 blah, you know, like they see it as a weakness. And I know like when they transmute this pattern of people pleasing, yeah, and what you were also mentioning, you know, John, like before, like the you know, subconscious patterns that they have about working, they have to like prove and everything. When you transmute that as an empath, you become a beautiful badass leader. So I'm creating a world of beautiful badass leaders.
You're doing it too, and you're not the pebble in the pond. You're the rock in the pond. You make the big
We
ripples.
all are. We all are.
I love it.
This has been amazing. Would you like to share some closing statements or golden nuggets for our viewers?
I think my favorite thing to tell people is don't be afraid to take that step, right? Don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to take the step because that is what brings the energy. You have to put the energy to bring the energy. And once it's in motion, it only gets better and better from there.
And you don't have to do it alone. That's why
You are not, you're
communities are
not
here.
alone. You are not alone.
Exactly. Yeah. Amazing. April, would you like to share?
Yeah, just on top of that, it's like, you know, just to clarify, like go on top of what you said to remind people, it's like, yeah, a pipe dream is a pipe dream. That's what it's called, that, right? And
Yep.
so you have to put the one foot in front of the other and getting out of your comfort zone. That is where the energy shifts.
Yep.
For sure. Every time you get out of your comfort zone, it's just going to amplify your shifts. And so just running off of that, thank you so much. Yeah.
Love it. Oh my God, I'm hugging you both right now. So
Great.
yeah, when you will connect, I don't know, like in school, I think it's possible to, you know, to share, I mean, to chat in a private chat. I don't know, I have to check. Maybe it's like level 2, but I think that you are both already on level 2, like, because, you know, usually it's like limited. But otherwise, I will also post both of your LinkedIn. So you can
Perfect.
connect there, or, you know, on Skool or whatever. But I'm so excited to see what kind of magic you guys will create together. Oh my God, this is amazing. This has been really,
Thank
really
you,
amazing.
Anya.
No, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Anya, so much. And April, so great to have you here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too. This was awesome.
Divine intervention, divinely guided.
Everything happens for the
Amazing.
reasons.
Happy Easter, both of you, yeah? And
Yeah,
I'll see you soon. I'll see you on the other side.
that's the other side. Bye, guys.